Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Spring and Summer collection from the brand Noodles Nail Polish. This collection goes on sale May 6th, so in the description box I will link the Noodles site, I will link their Instagram page, and then I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. So we do have 8 polishes in this collection, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have one Flor-al, and this is described as a pale lavender semi-sheer crelly with various shades of soft pink matte glitter. So here's our first coat of one Flor-al. This one is a little bit sheer here on this first coat. It does have a really good glitter payoff though. Your coverage is mostly going to come from this glitter. The base color does build up to pretty much full opacity, but the glitter is going to really distract from any kind of visible nail line. It is brighter, so it is more distracting. So 2 coats, this does build up well. It does have a beautiful milky cloudy base that you can see all of these glitters through. The formula is also excellent to work with. I had no running, pulling, or staining, not too thick or too thin. These are the glitters that do want a traffic jam, so depending on how thick you do your coats is really going to depend on how much manipulation of this glitter you're going to do. If you work thinner, it is going to spread out a little bit easier, but if you work thicker, you do have a more likely chance of that traffic jam of glitter. You'll definitely want top coat to smooth this out. It is glitter, so it is going to dry pretty textured, and removal will also be difficult because of glitter. So there are 2 coats of one Flor-al. Next up we have For Crying Out Cloud, and this is described as a clear base glitter topper with light blue and vibrant blue matte glitters, white matte glitters, silver hollow glitters, and scattered hollow. So here's our first coat of For Crying Out Cloud. On 2 nails, I'm going to layer up 2 coats, and then on my other 2 nails, I'm going to use this royal blue base as a base color. I love this one both on its own and as a topper, but I think I prefer it as a topper just over this blue specifically. A nice icy wintry look, but make it summer kind of thing. You'll want top coat. It is going to dry textured. Removal will be difficult, and you are going to have to do some manipulation for these larger glitters, so there are 1 and 2 coats. Next up we have So Fresh and So Green, and this is described as a minty green crelly with lime to gold to pink to orange color shifting flakes, mint and peachy pink matte glitters, and a touch of silver fine hollow glitter. So here's our first coat of So Fresh and So Green. This one is a little bit sheer on this first coat. Again, we're dealing with this kind of soft, milky base, but in a green form, and I really love this color combination, the pink versus the green. It's very dainty, very spring, absolutely gorgeous color combination. Here's our second coat, and I was happy in 2 coats for full coverage. Depending on how picky you are, you might want to go in for 3. The glitters in here aren't overly large, so you shouldn't have to do much manipulation to spread them out evenly across your nail. I didn't have any issues with them piling up in one spot. This is going to dry dull and textured, so you'll want top coat for that reason. Removal will require some scrubbing, and I got this extra large flake that I thought was absolutely beautiful, so I left it. So there are 2 coats. Up next we have Everything Is A-Bouquet, and this is described as a clear base glitter topper with peach, pink, periwinkle, and mint matte glitters and a touch of fine light pink hollow glitter. Here's our first coat of Everything Is A-Bouquet, and again I'm going to layer 2 coats of it on its own and then 1 coat over this bright neon pink cream. Formula is again excellent, no running, pulling, or staining. I didn't have any kind of issues with spreading out the glitter. There's nothing overly large in here, so everything does apply relatively evenly. You are going to want top coat again for this. This is glitter, so it is going to dry pretty intensely textured, especially if you build it up on its own. And because it's glitter, it's also going to be difficult to remove. So there are 1 and 2 coats of Everything Is A-Bouquet. Next up we have one Trick Peony, and this is described as a light pink crelly with mint, white, pale yellow, pale pink, and pale blue matte glitter. Here's our first coat of one Trick Peony. This one is a little bit sheer, again, that beautiful cloudy kind of milky base. The formula is excellent to work with though. I've never met a Noodles nail polish formula that wasn't just simple. Sometimes glitters can get thick and chunky, and I've never had that with one of her glitters, and I really appreciate that because I love glitter polishes. Here's our second coat, and again, I was happy in 2 coats, but this one was right on the edge of needing that third coat, so depending on your preferences, you might want to go for 3. The white glitter in here actually stand out pretty nicely against this base color. I find that the closer your base color is to white, the harder it is to see white glitters, but I was absolutely able to see every one of these, and I love it. You'll want top coat to hide that texture and bring some life back to this, and removal is difficult, so there are 2 coats of 1 Trick Peony. Next up we have Lilac You A Lot, and this is described as a semi-sheer periwinkle that leans more purple corally with hollow flakes, violet to gold shimmer, and a touch of fine lavender hollow glitter. Here's our first coat of Lilac You A Lot. This one covers decently well here on this first coat. It is a sheer or a more sheer base, but it does build up well and to full coverage in 2 coats, and I think this one is pretty solidly a 2-coater. The formula is excellent. There's no glitter to have to manipulate around in this one, so application should be easy, breezy on this one. This is going to dry on the dull side though, so I do still recommend going in for that top coat to smooth everything out and add some shine. Nothing's going to dry overly textured. Some of these larger pieces might dry with some texture, but it just dries to a normal texture, if that makes sense. And removal is easy. So there are 2 coats of Lilac You A Lot. Up next we have Petal To The Metal, and this is described as a pale blue corally with periwinkle and blue matte glitters and a touch of fine silver hollow glitter. Here's our first coat of Petal To The Metal. This one is a sheer milky base, so it is gonna be built up. I needed 3 coats for this one. I guess I was feeling more picky on this one than a couple of the other milky bases, but it does, the standard still applies that if you apply a little bit thicker and you're not super picky, you might be able to get away with 2. These shears do apply relatively evenly though, so if you don't mind visible nail line, you should be able to get away with 2 on these anyway. This one I did have a little bit more issues with the glitters wanting to hang out all in one spot across the nail, so I did have to manipulate those around just a little bit to get a nice even application. You'll want some top coat to finish this off. It is going to dry pretty intensely textured, so maybe 2 coats of top coat or a glitter smoother underneath your regular top coat, just to make sure everything is nice and smooth. And since this is glitter, it is going to be more difficult to remove. I think this periwinkle glitter that's in here is like my favorite glitter in the entire collection. I think it's absolutely adorable of color, and I've never seen it. So there are 3 coats of Petal To The Metal. And lastly for today we have Last But Not Least, and this is described as a taupe with blue undertones, corally, with an orange to pink shifting shimmer, hollow flakes, matte pink glitters, and a touch of fine silver hollow glitter. And here's our first coat of Last But Not Least, this one is a little bit sheer here on this first coat. This is definitely the outlier of the collection. It doesn't have any glitter, even though Lilac You A Lot also had no glitter. This one does have an aurora shimmer to it as well. A very beautiful polish here. Formula is excellent to work with. I was happy with the coverage in 2 coats. I could still make out just a hair of my nail line, but it does apply super evenly, so I don't mind that look whatsoever. The shifty shimmer that's in here stands out really nicely against this base color. You'll want top coat to smooth everything out, bring some life back to this polish, add some shine, but nothing is going to dry textured and removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of Last But Not Least. So here's a look at the collection as a whole. I really enjoy this collection. I think the toppers are the standout in the collection for me. I think Noodles does a really good job of doing glitter toppers, and these ones are absolutely stunning. I can't pick if I like them better as a topper or on their own, but I also really enjoy that she did a few of these with the milky bases. She gave us a real good variety of colors and finishes here. A lot of them have glitter, but they're all very different. So I think the collection as a whole works very nicely together, but individually are all absolutely beautiful. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.